The winning blueprint presents.
In the lab room.
You know how kids like to have their dessert before dinner? Hey, Mom, can I have my cake now? No, you have to eat your dinner first. That's how I feel about my Redskins, and that's how I'm going to serve it up to you. The Redskins at the Saints. If you're not a Saints fan, if you're not a Redskin fan, then this is Brussels sprouts. This game is Brussels sprouts to you. You really could care less. You don't eat it, you won't be any worse off for not eating your Brussels sprouts. But if you do, it won't make you one bit of difference either way. But if you are a Redskin fan, or if you are a Saints fan, then this game is like a big fat slice of strawberry cheesecake that you can't wait to devour. And so I give you the Redskins game in a separate package, a separate entity from the rest of the games, because I could talk Redskin football all night long. But I will not do so. I will just talk about this game, how I feel about it, how I feel the outcome will be, and why I think it will be the way it will be. Let me start by prefacing this game with this. As a Redskin fan, you could ask us any number of games which one over the last 5 years hurts the most. And I probably should scale that back in terms of the last 4 years. Because if you go back 5, then you get into that Sean Taylor territory. And that's a touchy subject for many Redskin fans, including myself. I was a huge Sean Taylor fan, probably my favorite Redskin over the last decade, easily. And so that Bills game that we lost, the game after Sean Taylor passed, that was a tough one to swallow. That game aside, if you ask me, and like I said, you ask any Redskin fan, and I'm pretty sure they'll give you a number of Cowboy games. We invent ways to lose to the Dallas Cowboys. However, me personally, my worst loss in the last 4 years as a Redskins fan came at the expense of these same New Orleans Saints. If you remember the year that the Saints won the Super Bowl, they were undefeated when they came into FedEx Field. And I saw the flaws in the Saints, and I said, they're not an unbeatable team. Matter of fact, we're going to show you the blueprint for beating the Saints. And I was adamant about it. I would tell anyone who would listen, and a lot of people weren't listening then, and for good reason. We stunk. But I was telling them, look, we're not a bad team, not as bad as you think. The Saints aren't as good as you think. We're going to show you. We're going to show you how to beat the New Orleans Saints. And we came out and we did everything the right way. We did everything we could to beat the Saints for 3 3/4 quarters. And then the bottom fell out with 5 minutes remaining in the game. We ultimately missed a game-winning field goal, or game-winning field goal. Went to overtime, and Mike Sellers fumbled the football, and we lost. As we probably should have. We weren't a good football team, but we gave the Cowboys the blueprint for beating the Saints, and the Cowboys did so the next week against the New Orleans Saints. They beat them. And I thought we gave the blueprint. But that game hurt because I wanted that game so badly. I told everyone that we were going to get that game. That we were going, and for 3 quarters, my team was validating me. As a fan, the one thing that you always look and seek for, and look for and seek, is validation. You want to be right. You want your players to prove you right. Because at the end of the day, 90% of being a fan is the bragging rights that come with it. And so you want to be able to tell someone, my team is better than yours, and they're going to prove it. Or you suck, we don't, we're going to prove it. Or we're going to beat this team, count on it. And I was telling people, all these things in some form or fashion about that Saints game, and I was wrong. We lost, and it hurt. It stung because, again, it's hard to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. But we do it so eloquently in Washington. We do it so often that sometimes it's easy to become numb to the fact or the feeling of losing. But look, I wanted that one bad. And it was hard for me to accept the fact that we had it. And it was looking to be borderline a blowout. And we found a way to cough it up. So that was one of the most painful losses for me in a series of many losses for the Redskins. That was one of my most painful losses. And so the Saints are a team that don't bring back good memories for me. The Saints are one of the best, if not the best, offensive machine in the National Football League. They're not a team on offense. They're a machine on offense. And the key cog in that machine, of course, is quarterback Drew Brees. He shattered all of the NFL passing records in 2011. And he's in rare form right now. He's a scary quarterback to have to defend against. And putting on the tape doesn't soothe your aches or give you any less queasy a feeling in your stomach when watching it, because you know that this is a guy you have to try to go out and stop, and all you can say is good luck. Even when guys are covered, he throws them open. Even when spaces are tight, he fits the ball in. When plays are there to be made, he doesn't miss. I could go on and on. The superlatives continue. But look, this offense for the Saints can score points. But this defense for the Saints can give up points. And so if you're a Redskins fan, you feel like you have a chance. Don't think for 1 second that we don't have a chance. This is a Saints team that in the preseason, their defense was giving up yardage and points to some inept offenses. We're talking about Jacksonville, went up and down the field on them. And look, they made Blaine Gabbert look, like a very, very quality starter in this league. And maybe he is starting to become so. But again, that Jacksonville Jaguars offense is not what you would call explosive, and yet the Saints made them look as such. And so, again, preseason, take everything you see, and I say this all the time, with a grain of salt. But the Saints aren't world beaters on defense. They never have been, never will be. And so, you won't confuse them with the 85 Bears. You won't confuse them with the 2000 Ravens. They can be ran on. They can be passed on. You can score points on this defense. The big question is, what does this Redskins offense with Robert Griffin III look like? What does it look like? What does it entail? Can they be successful? Will his first game be marred by turnovers and indecisiveness, or will they come out game plan and make Robert Griffin III comfortable and have the Saints on their heels? We don't know the answer to these questions. I look for Robert Griffin III to come out, establish the short passing game, run the football, try to run play action fake, bootleg, and all those things off of the running game. Look to try to make him comfortable. And you're going to see some different looks as well. You're going to see him maybe run the ball a couple of times, design runs. You're going to see him in a spread offense type of look out of the shotgun a couple of times. You're going to see different looks from Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan and different wrinkles that you didn't see in the preseason. But again, I still believe there are going to be times throughout the game where Robert Griffin III is going to see a defense that he's never seen before or that he wasn't prepared for. He's going to have to process it, and it's going to take a lot longer than it would if it was a defense that he was familiar with or has seen on film and knows what to do with the football. And I think he's going to get caught up in between trying to make a play and running, and I don't know if he's going to run out of the pocket at the time that he should. Is he going to hang around too long, get hit from behind and fumble? These are things that you have to ask yourself if you're a Redskins fan. But all in all, we have a legitimate shot at winning this football game. But again, as a prognosticator, I don't go off of what my heart says. I go off what my head tells me. And my head tells me we're not ready to win a game on the road against a team the caliber of the New Orleans Saints. And so, as bad as I want to say that we're going to win this game, because I feel like we have a legitimate shot, Drew Brees and that offense is just too potent for my defense right now. And what makes this an uncomfortable game for the Redskin fans, myself included, is the fact that Tenard Jackson is suspended for a year and Brandon Merriweather is out 2 to 4 weeks with the MCL sprain. And so you're basically reduced to putting Madu Williams and either Reed Dowdy or Dijon Gomes out on the field. And look, I like Dijon Gomes. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like he's chopped liver or mincemeat. But if Reed Dowdy has to get on the field in coverage one-on-one with somebody, anybody, it doesn't matter, he's at a disadvantage. I love Reed Dowdy. You're not gonna hear me talk bad like a lot of these Redskin fans do about Reed Dowdy. I love what Reed Dowdy does for the Redskins. He's an asset to us. I don't know if a lot of people realize that, but he makes plays on special teams. He does whatever we ask of him on defense. If you put him in the box, he's a willing, able, and a consistent tackler. He's going to be where he's supposed to be. The only problem is that he's athletically challenged. And so when you put him out in space where athleticism matters, he's going to lose 9 times out of 10. It's not his fault. He's just at a disadvantage, and that's the fact of the matter. And so if he has to play, I don't like Madu Williams in a starting capacity. I've already said that. It's a reason why he's been on 4 or 5 different teams already in a 9-year span, in a 9-year career, because he's not consistent. He doesn't make plays. He's a solid backup safety, which is what we kept him on the roster to be. But now with these injuries and this suspension, he's been thrust back into the starter's role, and I don't feel comfortable with him being back there. Thus, Drew Brees is going to carve us up, especially in the secondary. We have to get pressure on him. We have to make him uncomfortable in the pocket. And their line does a great job of snuffing out blitzes. And we're one of the worst teams in the league at disguising blitzes. We love to tell you what our blitz is pre-snap. If you give us a hard, fake cadence, we're going to show you exactly what we're doing. We tip our hand way too easily on blitzes, and teams pick it up way too easily. And when you get caught blitzing and it gets picked up, good quarterbacks, and Drew Brees is a great quarterback, they make you pay more times than not. And so, as much as I want to say we have a legitimate shot to win this game, and I feel we do, and I want to say, hey, we're going to go out and get it done. We're not ready to go into the Superdome, a place where the Saints did not lose last year. If this game was in Washington at FedEx Field, I might feel a little freaky and say, yeah, we can beat these guys. We're going to win this game. But it's not. It's in New Orleans. It's on the road. It's Robert Griffin III's first game in the NFL. It's a road game. It's a big test. One that I don't know if we're ready to pass just yet. Talk to me next year this time, and I'll probably be singing a different tune. But right now, in the infant stages of the Robert Griffin III era, I just can't see us going on the road and getting it done. And so, with that being said, I have the final score being New Orleans 30, Washington 24. And look, that's a valiant effort for my Skins. If we only fall short by 6, and this is a legitimate 6-point defeat, not you're down, 17-30 with a minute 41 seconds left. You score a touchdown with 109 remaining and have to kick an onside kick and you don't get it and you lose by 6. No, I'm not talking about that type of game. I'm talking about we're down 30-24 and we get the ball back with 141 remaining and have a chance to go win the game. Or the Saints have the ball with 3:11 left and we're down 30-24 and we need to get a stop to get the football back. Now, if we don't get it back, it happens. And again, that's what I feel like our defense isn't at the level where they need to be able to get us the ball back and win games or give us a shot to win games. And that's the difference between the good teams, the average teams, the bad teams, and the great teams. The great teams find a way to get the stop, to get the offense back on the field, to give them a chance to win. The great teams find a way when they get the ball with less than 2 minutes remaining in the game and a chance to win. They find a way to go down, either tie the game, send it to overtime, and give themselves a chance to win. Or they go down and actually win the football game. The bad teams either don't even get the stop that allows them to get back onto the field to have a chance to win, or if they do get the stop, they don't do anything with the football when they get the chance. And I think that's where we're at right now, is we're trying to turn that corner and become a team that when the game is on the line has a legitimate shot to win. Right now, as a Redskin fan, if you're down by more than a field goal late in a ball game, you have to feel like your chances of winning are slim to none. We don't come from behind and win games. That's just not what we do. We're not a team that excels when the pressure is its greatest. And so we have a lot of work to do. And so let's just hope that this is a legitimate 6-point defeat and we actually have a chance to win in the fourth quarter and not a game that we look to make close at the end but really never had a shot to win. And with that being said, that is my Redskins report. I feel like we've got a shot, but we won't win the game. The Saints, after this game, will be 1-0, and the Redskins will fall to 0-1. But again, a big test for us. If we can play this team close and be competitive, I will take that, and I will be happy about it. There's nothing great about losing. There's no silver lining in losing. But I'll tell you what, past teams in Redskins history, if you look back to the 07 season when the Patriots were absolutely mauling teams, we were one of the teams that they threw into the grinder. They beat the brakes off of us. I think that game might have been 49-7. And that's what teams used to do to us when they were better than us. I don't think teams can do that to us anymore. I'd like to think that that's not the case. And I want the Redskins of 2012 to show me that that is not the case anymore. Take a team that is an offensive juggernaut and limit them in their effectiveness. You're not going to stop the Saints, but they can be slowed down a bit. Limit them in their effectiveness while scoring on their defense, which is not that great. And keep this ball game close and give yourself a chance to win. If we can do that, again, there's no solace in losing. But again, if we can find a way to keep this game close and actually have a chance to win, and if we go down and don't win, I'll take that as a positive, and I'll use that to build on in the upcoming games in the next few weeks. And I feel like we can play with anybody if we can play with the Saints. And so that's going to do it for the Redskin Report. Remember, I said that I was going to turn this weekend around and rectify the slow start with the loss that the Giants provided me with and started me 0-1 on the season. And I said I was going to go 13-2 this weekend, Giants game aside. I will gladly take this game as one of my losses. If you tell me that I'm going to have 2 losses and this is one of them, sign me up. Where do I sign my name? I would definitely take a loss for a Redskins victory and have joy in doing it. I'll be rooting for my boys this weekend. I can't wait to watch the game. I just love watching Redskins football. Haven't missed a play in about 15 years. And so this is what it's about. Week 1, 2012 season, Redskins Saints coming at you 1 o'clock p.m. Sunday afternoon. Can't wait to get it started. Go Skins. And look, fact of the matter is, I know Redskin fans don't want to hear it. We're an 8-8 team, 9-7 at best. Don't get it misconstrued. I want this team to be successful, and I'm not one of these guys that's, oh, the Redskins are going to win every game. No. I'm going to keep it real and tell you how I feel. And we're not going to be too far away from this plus or minus. We're an 8-8 team plus or minus 1. Plus 1 puts you at 9-7. Minus 1 puts you at 7-9. We're going to fall somewhere in that radius, whether it's 7-9, 9-7, or 8-8. We're not going to veer too far from that span of games, from that differential. And so that's what we are. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that, look, this is who we are as a football team. Until they come out on the field and show me otherwise, that's what we're going to be this season. And look to build upon that. And this is where it starts. Week 1, Saints, Redskins. Hail to the Redskins. I'll see you on Monday. Hopefully it's a victory Monday. If not, I won't be surprised. Again, I don't expect to win this game. Would love to be pleasantly surprised and get a W. But again, if I don't, and if we don't win, won't surprise me. And I'll come back, I'll break it down, I'll diagnose it and tell you why we didn't win, tell you what I saw. And we'll go back to the drawing board and get ready for the Saints. Either way, let's have fun. Let's watch the game. Let's be competitive. And let's show everyone, what the 2012 Redskins are going to be about this coming season. Enjoy the game. I'll be back Monday, and we'll talk extensively about what we saw over the weekend and talk about, what the prospects for the future is for this Washington Redskins team. I'll see you Monday. Enjoy the game. I know I will. I'll see you then.